What? I can't even see it right now.
There's
Oh yeah,
it's
nice.
the building
Yep.
behind you.
Got the lightning behind me. A little board right here. Okay.
Let me see if you got some vintage knowledge about some of the greatest athletic movies ever made. Do you recognize that shirt?
Starting defense. Oh yeah, of course. That's the program for sure, 100%.
It's
I
my
know what that
boy,
is.
Andrew Banowski, one of the biggest humans you ever met.
Is he that big in person?
Dude, I used to get, they used to think because we both came out here when we were 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he from the start he killed it in movies with Hudson Hawk and Bruce Willis. He was in
Yep.
Batman,
Yep.
playing Christopher Walken's son with
Yep.
Danny Badillo, Danny DeVito in it, and he's killing it. Got the program,
Yeah. I
some
remember.
harsh movies as well, some great theatrical movies, but very harsh.
Yeah.
He's a monster. But people go, "Hey, are you Latimer from the program?" And I go, "No, no, I'm not." But that
Honestly,
boy's a
bro, that would be a
monster.
good Halloween costume for you too. If you paint the skull on your face and put the pads on like that, you probably
He
would recognize him or resemble
last
him pretty much.
yeah last year he was going to give me his jersey from the movie. So the actual real jersey to wear for Halloween.
That'd be super cool.
No,
Super cool.
my
Yeah,
man,
man.
you had an incredible weekend.
Oh my god, I know. A very sleepless weekend though.
Yeah,
Not the most
yeah,
healthiest weekend for myself as far as that
yeah.
goes.
How'd you recover? Because I sent you over. If you guys don't know, I got this Whoop band on, and still doing studies on it and understanding it, and finding out that it's such a somewhat of a mislead. But um, my recovery is at 16, so I'm basically supposed to take the week off, kind of a thing. And I'm like, yeah, that's not.
That's not gonna happen.
That's I ain't gonna go off of that. Um, but that being said, your bed. I want you to talk about this for a second
Sure,
because I feel that sleep is one of the most important things in the world. Um,
definitely,
and I know you got
definitely.
out of that rhythm. But what was the bed that you got? What was the name of it?
So I got a
Everybody write this down.
yeah, I got a Tempur-Pedic bed, but I got the best one that they got, right? And I don't know, I don't know the exact name of it, but it's a Tempur-Pedic bed, and basically the Tempur-Pedic bed that I got was the top of the line one they have. So that means that it can move the top, the bottom, middle. Got massagers in there. It's got all kinds of stuff, right? Well, it also has this AI system, and the AI system, when you set it up, it asks you all these different questions. How much do you weigh? What side of the bed do you sleep on? Do you have any animals that sleep on the bed? What is your usual time of when you want to go to sleep and what time you usually want to wake up? So it gets all this information. And then you start sleeping on the bed. Now, the bed is going to track how long you sleep, how long deep sleep, how long short sleep, and how long REM sleep. Obviously, we want long REM sleep and deep sleep, right? REM sleep is going to be your most key factor. And then at that point, it checks all kinds of different things, like the air quality in the room, the temperature in the room. So it tells you all this information.
Wow, it
Um,
gives you an idea of what is the best temperature to keep you
yeah, your body
sleeping.
cool at, yeah. And
Wow.
the bed itself actually keeps you 10 degrees. It's 10 degrees cooler than what the room is. So you never get hot. Because some people get hot, and I'm one of those
Right.
people. So I usually keep my air condition like 65, and my bed's cool the whole night because you're supposed to be sleeping in cooler environments. They say it's better for you to sleep in cooler environments. So obviously this thing will track. It'll track it every night. So I've got probably about a month worth of tracking, maybe a little bit more, maybe 2 months or something like that. And it'll tell me my quality. And honestly, I start looking back at what it tells me is the number of what my quality was like. So last night was probably my best night, 98%, right? 98% of my sleep goal. That means I went to sleep by the right time. It was 10:30. I got an hour and 8 minutes of deep sleep, which was 12% of my total sleep. I got 6 hours and 35 minutes of light sleep, which I wish was a little bit more deeper. And then 2 hours and 2 minutes of REM sleep, which is really, really
Wow.
good. If you can get REM
You
sleep for two
average.
hours,
That's an average for you because I've asked you a few times about your REM sleep, and you're always at that 2.5 hours, which is amazing.
yep,
I'm between 30 to an hour and a half.
okay.
And I would love to get that number up because
So,
that's that 2.5 was wow.
so
That's
some
what you
nights,
want.
yeah, when I look at it, like, I don't know if you guys can check this out. So you guys can see all the ones that are missing are green because I'm in front of a green screen. But you can
Yeah.
see the other numbers 89, 75, 76, 93, 83, and 65. So it'll tell you, and the green numbers are where you want to be at. So it's a little, it's just like you do. We want to analyze everything that's going on, right, and try to get the best possible result out of it by doing the right things and tracking these things. So this is just a part of it. Obviously, sleep is a big part of it. I know you wear that watch, and it's supposed to tell you, I think, calories, how your recovery is doing. I don't know if hydration. Some do tell that. So I'm all about it. If they work properly, you can get some sort of answer from it that's going to be correct, I guess, or as close.
Or at least
as
it gives you a
possible.
good gauge. It gives
Yeah.
you a somewhat of a good gauge for at least for you. I know these people are like, well, what's your body fat? There's different ways to take it.
Right.
Stay with the same one. It kind of gives you a good range of if you're
Right.
improving yourself. And I think the bed is a great option.
Yeah, the bed was definitely a great option because I kind of spoiled by having the bed because it sucks because when you travel and you know it because you're traveling everywhere, nothing's like your bed at home. I mean, I stayed in a 5-star hotel this weekend, man. I wanted to leave there so fast. I didn't want to sleep there one bit. Pillows suck, bed's hard. I'm like, man, like this. I just want my bed back. If I could have my bed and travel with my bed with me, I'd be a really, really happy person on vacations.
We spend a lot of time on that thing, so it's like, why not make it that much better? And then I like the idea that it moves, and so yeah, my sex life might be better because I can do less work.
Well, the other thing is that it actually tracks people if they snore. And if they snore, it automatically moves the bottom of the bed to raise the legs up to take pressure off of your chest to help people not to snore. So that's just another one.
Huge.
Plus, it helps blood flow too, as well as that with the heart and everything. So there's a lot of different benefactors. Plus, you can always, maneuver it for the sexual actions there too, as well. The positions, you don't have to have like the little sex edge pillow.
I'm just saying, I got my Cupid's candy, so I should wait till I get to bed and then just be like, wait a minute, what's this? Like a new husband or something? Holy sheesh!
Performing in and outside the bedroom. That's what it's all about, for sure.
I love it.
That's
You
awesome.
do. What I liked is that with a drop of the hat, your friend called you. You were on a plane and you were heading out.
Yeah,
And I loved it. I loved physically that you could do that.
yeah,
Obviously,
Yeah.
and you could go to something like you did. And I think a lot of people will miss this, but I've trained so many people through the decades that just wanted to be able to take off their shirt during the holidays at the pool. It's a simple thing.
Yep.
It seems like a no nonsense thing, but
right.
so many people, I like that they have that want to be better attitude, and they want to be in better shape just to take off their shirt at the pool with the family. And I think that's cool. And I think that it's great that you, at your age,
Yeah.
you're not a spring chicken,
Oh, I wish.
but you could head down to this thing. You could hit the clubs. You could hit the yacht and the pool and take the shirt off and hang with the 21-year-olds, if not school them.
Yep.
And I freaking love that. And I wish more people would continue to go and push themselves to that limit. And I think it's a great thing. And I was happy for you that you got to go down there and do that with the hottie,
Yeah.
the little misses and stuff,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
enjoy that weekend.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, obviously, my friend came in from London, and when he comes from London, he usually comes to see me straight off. But he was doing Art Basel, and he wanted to just start an annual Art Basel party in the super yacht thing. Guy spent $2.5 million on this weekend. It was ridiculous as far as that goes. Going down there was two big benefits of there. One, I really wasn't going to go down. But, when he called me, I'm like, all right, listen, it's only, a little flight down. I'll come down and hang out with the weekend. And then one of my good friends and, awesome artist, Jason Skeldon, was down there with his, his setup too as well. So I got to see him on Friday and get to see his Art Basel setup and just all the amazing artists from all over the world. So that was really, really cool because some of the paintings and some of the structures and, some of the different pieces that I seen down there were super super cool. And I'm a big art guy as far as that goes. Like I like to see originality, and different artists come with different things and have different niches. And it was really really cool to see that. And get some of these artists to explain to me, and from different countries. I talked to one from France. She was telling me all these different paintings and stuff like that. So it was really really cool because you get some culture there and you get to see some different things. Obviously with my friend, he's like, he set all this thing up as far as yachts, 2 yachts on one day, 3 yachts on the other day. And I'm not talking about little yachts. I'm talking about super 200-foot plus yachts, and these things are ridiculous. Elevators on them. I mean, bedrooms. I mean, some of the DJs that he got, he's got headlining DJs for festivals that are commanding $250,000 each a set. So you can imagine just there, right? And you're in this intimate setting and get to see it. It's something that I can do, and I like to enjoy with Sharice, like going to see music, going to dance and stuff like that. As far as staying up, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, I think I'm over that, and I don't like doing that anymore. I like getting my sleep. I think it's crucial, and I don't like to wake up the next day feeling like a zombie.
I've only done that like when I go to Dubai.
Yeah.
Dubai leashes off. I'm
Yes.
like, all right, I'm
Yes.
doing this. I'm closing it out. Get back to the hotel at 6 a.m, sleep all day, and then head back out to the yachts and the McLarens.
And that's exactly what it is.
Once in a while, it's nice to let the leash off, but I'm a creature of extreme habit.
Yeah.
And I love my time, my training, and that foundation work that I just continuously grind every day.
I like the routine.
Yeah.
I like the routine, The routine is what keeps you centered and on task what you're trying to achieve. So it's all about getting that routine, staying in that healthy routine. You can get out of that routine and get into unhealthy routines too as well. So make sure you don't, and you get back in that routine if you are off the routine.
Speaking of routine, we're coming up on January 1st.
Yep.
And the two things I want to ask is a routine for you and me. I'm wondering psychology-wise if it is because we love the imprint, because that keeps us maybe attached to our youth when we were very regimented with sports and doing the sports, then the training, then the workouts, then school, and then back to the sports, and in that circle. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I don't know what the psychology is on that. I'd love to, I'll probably try to find that out, but that's something that's inbred in us in a sense, being athletes. And I'm wondering, what kind of tips can you give those individuals that can get into the continuous habit of coming home from work, having the beer, sitting in front of the TV, spending 3 hours, going back to bed, getting up, going to work again, and just that continuous, I guess they call it the mouse on the
the wheel.
Yeah,
just running the wheel.
What's your suggestions for them coming to January 1st, how to break this kind of stuff, if you have something?
Sure. I mean, at that point, if you got to want the change, start making the little changes that you can, right? And that's stop drinking the beer after work. Try to go do a little bit of work in the gym, do something at home. I don't care. Usually it's easier for somebody to go into the gym than to start at home because there's usually nobody that's around them motivating them. You got some people that are scared to go to the gym because they don't want to see all the people working out, or they're intimidated by that whole section and they haven't been there for so long and they're out of shape and they want to feel embarrassed going back in there. But that's the thing. You got to get back into some sort of activity regimen. And that could be you riding a bike around your neighborhood, walking, brisk walking to start. There's all different types of ways you can start your exercise routine. And then the eating portion, right? Start trying to eat healthy. Start little things, right? Start working your way into it. And the more that you do it, the more that you're going to create that healthy routine and you're going to stay on track with that. That's kind of what I would do. I mean, if I had to start from scratch per se, I would say, all right, listen, what is my goal for this, right? And that might be, listen, I just want to start some activity and lose weight. And then you have a goal weight, right? And be realistic about it. Whether it's 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 20 pounds. You can't go in, I'm going to lose 100 pounds in 3 months. That's unrealistic, right? Start with a realistic goal. Start hitting those realistic goals, and then you'll just keep moving up. And I think that's the best way to get in routine, to create a goal and start achieving those goals. Write it down on a piece of paper, write a note in your phone, right? These are things that will keep you on track and you can look at. You can visualize. I know some people would create the board, the dream board or whatever it is, and they try to manifest the different things, what they're trying to achieve. Or some people have action plans. And they'll say, all right, I want to accomplish this. These are the actions that I'm going to put in place to accomplish these goals. And they have them listed out of what they're going to be. I think that's the best way to do it. If you say, well, I'm just going to remember and I'm just going to do it like this, well, you haven't changed anything that you've been doing at all. And that's the whole thing. You got to change. It's all about change. And people don't like change. There's a lot of people out there, they fight change, whether it's in their life, or their job, or whatever's going on. They do not like change. Majority of people don't. But at that point, like if you want to do some of these things, you have to start embracing change to a little bit of what you're doing.
Yeah, I love that. Some of the things that you just said, for everybody out there, I do those things still. So you said a couple of things. You said, I don't do the vision board wall. I did as a kid. Holy sheesh, did I?
Yeah.
My dad comes into my room and goes, why do you have posters of all these guys on your wall?
Yep.
It's like I got Arnold and Robbie and all these guys on my wall.
Yeah. That was the goal, right? This is what it looked like.
Yeah, I'd cut out their workouts. I'd put it on the wall, and I'd be like, okay, tomorrow I'm doing Berto Fox's arm workout.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, the day after, I'm going to do Larry Scott's leg workout.
Yeah.
It's like old school. But today I have a journal that's next to my bed that I finish the night and I write in. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, today, rock. This did good. This. I can do better here. This, I got to get done. And I just clean that out of my mind.
Yep.
And I just put it down on paper so I can actually see my thoughts.
Yeah.
Is the research is a real cool thing about actually writing, not on a computer or your phone, but writing it out and then looking at your own thoughts on paper is a huge thing. And then the other thing he said is about maybe quotes or something up on. I have in the bathroom, I have a list of things that I'm focused on and dates. I have short-term goals and I got a long-term goal that's on the bathroom mirror. And so it's still doing this today, double nickels. Yep. When I started doing this kind of vision boards and all that kind of stuff and affirmations on my wall. Absolutely. When I was 12, 13 years old. And it does help.
It does.
So guys, just pick up any kind of little notebook like John was talking about. Put up a little Post-it, maybe on your refrigerator, maybe on your bathroom mirror, because that's the first place you usually go in the morning, right? Yeah, brush your teeth, get ready, do it. Oh, I hope you brush your teeth. So it's such a silly thing. I know this sounds silly, like that's not going to change me. Those small changes do. It really does. I get excited about I get excited about changing my nutrition. I'm like, okay, new plan. I love it. I'm set. I got it plastered, and everybody knows that my nutrition is plastered on the wall there. That way it's never off. And either me or Mona's making a meal. Okay, Mona's making a meal. And, it's like set for me, ready to go. So those kind of things, guys, just start doing that.
Definitely. I mean, look at. I don't know if you've seen it, but Shohei Ohtani. So Shohei Ohtani just signed a $700 million deal. It's the biggest deal ever in sports. $700 million for 10 years.
I'm guessing baseball.
This is baseball, right?
Yeah.
Now, Shohei Ohtani is the only person to be able to go both ways and be an all-star both ways. He's a pitcher and he's a designated hitter. He's one of the only people to ever do this ever. Okay?
Ever in history.
Ever in history. He's the first. He is the unicorn. The only other person that did this was Babe Ruth. And he's already beat all Babe Ruth's records. All of them. He's already set records. All right. So, with Shohei Ohtani, I watched his ESPN thing, and it's really cool because, he's not from here, obviously. But, he played in Japan and all that, and he's from Japan. And it showed from his, first grade teachers to his third grade teachers to freshman year. And he wrote out everything he was going to accomplish and how he was going to accomplish it. I'm talking his freshman year, he had everything written out, exactly what he was going to do, his arm care, where he was going to go, how he was going to do it. I mean, they showed it to other Major League Baseball players or Hall of Famers, and all of them said, I've never seen anything like this. Like, even when I was playing baseball and they were talking about themselves, I was playing to play, and I didn't want thinking about 10 years down the line. I'm thinking about tomorrow, right? So, I mean, you see that. I mean, this guy is one hell of a guy. I mean, listen, this guy's he's having a second Tommy John surgery. He will not be able to pitch the entire next season All he'll be able to do is designate hit, and he's still got a $700 million contract. It is, guys, that is ridiculous.
Is that where'd you see this? Is it on ESPN? Is it?
It's on ESPN. It's all over face. I mean, this is the biggest news in sports.
I gotta
especially in
find
baseball.
it. I want to hear the story though. I don't care about him signing. I want to hear about what he was like.
ESPN Plus. They
Okay.
have Shohei Ohtani. It's like his story for up to this point.
Yeah.
It shows everything. Like he went over. He stayed in Japan, and he could have went over to the MLB at like I don't know, like 16, 17 years old. But the whole point was when you get to professional level, they make you pick. You're either a pitcher or you're a position player and hitter. That's it. You don't get to be both. So what he did was he stayed over in Japan, and all wanted him in Japan. He made the deal with the team and said, listen, you're going to let me do both. And he did both, and he knocked it out of the park. And when he came over here, it was the same thing.
Jeez.
Professional teams have never seen anything like this. They've never seen a pitcher that hits home runs like it's going out of style. And
Right.
I mean, it's amazing. So it's if you live in LA, you guys are going to have one hell of a Dodger team this year. The whole team's all-stars. I mean, it's crazy. If they don't win the World Series this year, there's something wrong.
Yeah, somebody said LA got lucky.
LA got lucky, huh?
Right.
They got
Shohei
everybody.
Ohtani is the man. And
Wow.
to speak about this guy, right, and how cool it is, and I hate going on about this, but $700 million, he deferred $680 million of his contract. What that means is that he's not going to get paid the $680 million for the 10 years. He's going to wait after the 10 years and then get that money every year afterwards until 2034. The reason he's doing that is because he wants to keep the Dodgers' budget open so they can go get more players to add to the roster. Because he's only going to be getting
I've
paid
never
$2 million
heard
a
that.
year.
I've never heard of
Nobody has.
something like that.
There's only 2 players that have ever done anything like this.
Who?
Bobby Bonilla, who's still getting paid by the New York Pirates. He's still getting paid by the Pirates to this day, like $1.3 million. The other person is Ken Griffey Jr. He's getting paid by the
When did
Cincinnati
that?
Reds till this day. He's still getting paid this year millions of dollars.
I
Because
gotta
they
talk to
deferred
him
their
about
contracts.
that. So that's brilliant. But look at that. You tell me a human on the planet that says, hey, you can forget 600 million. Forget 60. Imagine somebody just saying, hey, do you want $1 million now or in 10 years? They go give it to me right this second.
Right. No, these
Instead
guys
of going, well, I can still do right now. I can still hang right now. Let me
Right.
just make my own. And in
Right.
10 years, I got that token.
Right.
It's like,
It's-
nah.
It's crazy, man.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
those guys were very, very smart. Like I said,
But
Bob
wouldn't
Bonilla,
you correlate that with health and fitness and not rushing it and not going out and blasting the craziness that some of these people are doing and compared to being healthy and knowing that, well, I get to do this for the next 20 years
right.
compared to looking great for the next year and a half.
I absolutely would correlate that with health and fitness, and I would definitely say it's more of like a marathon instead of a sprint. Because you got a longer life to live, right? And if you want to live longer and better at that point and look better, then I would definitely take the route of, hey, listen, take your time and do it, and stop trying to put everything in at one time and start blasting to try to get that result in a short time period, because it usually doesn't happen anyway. So these guys are blasting a million different things. It doesn't ultimately mean that they're going to have better results and look better.
Yeah.
Most of the time, that is the circumstance too. So
It's interesting because I was talking to 2 guys I had go over to Titan Medical, very similar blood work. The age difference was 10 years, early 30s and early 40s.
Yep.
Both very good. Testosterone was decent, 600. But both free testosterones was in the tanker, 9 and 10. And it was interesting because both very bright individuals and successful in business. The 30-year-old said, well, let me do, he got on the Hercules potion and aminos, and he's got on some, I think some CJC. And he says, I'll stay here and see how this works over the next couple of years.
Yep.
And then decide, because he's still young in his 30s. And the 40-year-old says, I've been training my whole life. I've been an athlete my whole life. I've never gone down that venture. And I think it's time now at my early 40s to start living a better life.
Right.
And he made the decision to go onto some tea along with those other things that I just mentioned as well.
Right.
So it was a cool thing just seeing two men make that decision on getting a better quality of life, and one being patient about one aspect and saying, let me see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where the other one says, it's time for me to make that step and step into getting my testosterone levels at a good rate, both free testosterone and my testosterone.
Absolutely.
So it was cool as a trainer and to these guys to see them both kind of make that decision with Titan Medical and make those steps.
It's very cool. It's very cool. And it's everybody's personal decision, right? Because everybody's got different scenarios, blood work, health history, what they're trying to achieve, how old they are, and all these things to take in consideration. And different people have different things of what they want, I guess, and how fast they want them. It's okay, to take your time and to look at the blood work, get the recommendations, try some things, see if they work. And if they don't work, we can always change and tweak, and we can always add on, and we can always go down a different path. Whole point is to give you the education about what's going on with your health, give you the options, and then you can make an educated decision with the provider to see what's going to be the best for you. And listen, that's not the end all be all. It can always change, and things can always move forward and progress in different ways.
Let's see what else we got here. What kind of questions are you looking at there, Mo? I think these are great leads today and great insight from you today.
Yeah.
Always, you're always great. But I like the analogies and from the sleep that we talked about. If you guys missed earlier, you and me are going to look into this new bed, and then also a swing for the bedroom. But then also,
Swing.
and then also, we went over the sleep, how important it is, and how you're doing so great. And then it's funny because I was just talking about I'd like to set little things up so I'm PRing in everything I do, and that PR could just be better sleep for me. I would like to get my REM sleep and understand it on how I can get that 2 hours of REM sleep and then deep sleep. Because it looks like from my Whoop that I'm up somehow an hour and a half a night during that 8 hours.
So I'd like you to try some Titan Serenity. I'd like to get some Titan Serenity out to you and just see if it works. And it's all natural, right? When we talk about Titan Serenity, it's one of our, and we've got a couple different options for sleep. There's two options for sleep.
Serenity.
One is Titan Serenity, which is L-theanine, taurine, magnesium. Very simple, very easy things that are okay and very natural to the body. The other one is DSIP, and that's a peptide.
Name that one again?
DSIP, DSIP, that's Delta Sleep Inducing Peptide. And that one's a precursor to GABA.
Oh, okay.
GABA is amazing for sleep. We used to be able to compound GABA in the injectable, and we used to put that in Titan Serenity, but the FDA says that we cannot compound GABA anymore. So we can take it orally over the counter and go buy it all day, but I can't have you do an injectable. I don't say. So, but
I would love to try that.
DSIP's another good one. So I definitely like you to try those and to sleep, because usually there's two types of sleepers. One that can't go to sleep, the wheels are always turning, and the other sleeper that wakes up every hour on the hour. It goes to sleep, but wakes up and it's like, damn, I want to go back to sleep, and it just can't. Tosses turns all night, and the alarm clock starts going off, and like, damn it, I got to get up now. And it is what it is. So, but I think that those are definitely really good ones for people out there. They're non-narcotics, non-formant.
That's huge.
Habit-forming things too as well, and like very good for the body. Just very good all the way around. So there's no negative side effects or down for these different therapies.
I wrote those down. I'm going to definitely bug you on that one. But you made a point that a lot of people get hooked on these sleeping pills.
Yep.
And those are one of the big addiction ones. And it's hard to get off that. And it really messes your melatonin and your sleep pattern and stuff. And so this is a great thing for anybody that's wanting to try to get away from those sleeping tablets.
It really is. And then melatonin. Melatonin was a big one, right? Melatonin is given out, and melatonin, a lot of people are starting to give them to kids and stuff like that, and they're starting to give them to themselves. Now, melatonin is a hormone. So you guys know that. Melatonin is a hormone. So It's a hormone that gets released in the body when darkness starts coming on, the light starts going down, and then at that point it's supposed to make you tired. So at that point, what happened was there's kids that have died from melatonin, like in the last year and a half, 2 years. You can look up the articles. It's really crazy. And people use the melatonin because they think it's a supplement for sleep and it's going to help them sleep every night, which it may in the beginning. But if you use melatonin too much, it will build up a tolerance and it will throw off your body as far as that goes. And you'll have to use melatonin a lot more than you normally would.
I also understand, if I might be wrong, but somebody out there will get this literature for me. It's the more melatonin you make or take, the body makes less of. And so when you do try to come off of it, now you're messed up again.
Yep. And you can't sleep. And you're like, I need more melatonin.
Yeah, so it's a double-edged sword. Be careful on just taking it day in and day out. You're 3 years in without even knowing it, and now your body doesn't produce as much for yourself.
Right.
So then you have to go through that period of building that back up.
Right.
This is great insight on this one. As the new year is coming.
That's right. New Year's coming, so you guys better start now. Start now. Start your goals now.
What does Titan Medical have that right now these people can kind of, and again, I have to say this, little things get me excited.
Mm-hmm.
The notebook, taking notes, putting up the affirmation, changing the nutrition, knowing that I have to be in shape for this next movie. And I got a start date, January 26th. I start filming. It's a cowboy movie. Why do I got to be in shape? Because I got to be.
That's
doesn't
right.
matter. It doesn't matter.
That's right.
But I got a date. And so, again, my motivation is heightened so much so. But how do what is over at Titan Medical that can help some of these people get moving and grooving right now? Besides everybody needs to get their blood work.
Absolutely.
I mean, you finish off the year by knowing where you're at.
Absolutely. The biggest thing I would say is weight loss, and that's the biggest resolution that you see out there that people ask for. Like, I want weight loss this year. I want to lose weight. With COVID, people gain an average of 20 pounds, if you could believe that. So people still haven't got that weight off. And at that point, the biggest thing I would say is, get moving. Blood test, obviously, see what's going on. But if you're looking for weight loss, semaglutide, tirzepatide, ECA SAC Plus, AOD 9604. These are some really, really big staple therapies. They're going to help you start losing weight immediately, right then and there. Like, start getting going. You can combine some of these therapies too as well. So, if you're looking for energy and you want weight loss, you can combine semaglutide or tirzepatide with ECAs, or as far as that goes, or if you want expedited weight loss and not the stimulant effect, AOD 9604 with any one of these would work very well too, for anybody out there that's trying to lose the weight and get going on their resolution before New Year's hits. That's the big thing. Everybody wants that for New Year's. Everybody wants weight loss. I mean, that's what I get.
I can speak about the glutathione and the AOD. I could see the difference of that, fat coming off and me getting sliced and sliced. I know that I'm on a program. I'm training hard. I know I'm doing that, but I can see little details that this is even helping me at this stage of the game, which I freaking love.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And is everything in stock? Is everything available right now?
Sure. Yeah. So all the therapies are available right now through the pharmacies. We actually just released a new peptide therapy today. So Dihexa came out today. It's Apollo's nootropic therapy is what we're calling it. And Dihexa is in a capsule. And Dihexa is there to help people with memory, cognitive function, and learning. That's the big one that I really thought was really cool about this. This actually will help people learn better. With the mind and using some of the different things. It's really cool, and it's something you only have to take 2 times a week. So it's not even a daily.
So it's hitting the neurons in the brain to retain the information, I'm guessing, in some sense.
Yes. Very cool stuff. So this one's a new therapy, obviously, for memory and cognitive function. People want that too as well. Some people, they find like they're foggy thinking, or they can't really get to their thought or put together the sentence they want to, or even wanting to learn faster or better. I mean, that's just something I do 100%. That's why I've been taking it. I'm like, listen, the faster I can learn something, the faster I can read and retain something is going to be better for me.
Do you take that along with your NAD?
I do. So I take the NAD in an injection in the morning, and then I'll take my oral supplementation. And like I said, you only take this 2 times a week. So the NAD where I'm taking little bits by the day, I'll take the dihexa 2 times a week, whether it's Tuesday or Thursday or Monday and Friday. It just depends what I want to do there. That's kind of what I've been doing as far as my regimen because, like I said, I'm patient zero. So I'm gonna try these therapies for all you guys and tell you guys, what my thoughts on it were. And the providers took this therapy too as well, and they loved it. I mean, they were really, really ecstatic about how it made them feel. So, it's good, when you can have some providers in on it, see how they feel, see how I feel, look at the research behind it too as well, and then be able to offer to patients because, nobody's really offering things like that. And I told you, 2024, I'm going to be more cutting edge than ever. I'm going to definitely introduce more therapies and different technology in some of these different therapies to help people as far as that goes.
I love that you're doing that because it's not just about getting in shape. And it shouldn't be just one aspect. I've never been impressed by one aspect. I've been impressed by the full package. That's mind, how you feel energy-wise, and the package. It's like, let's have all of it. Somebody asked here, great question.
Sure.
What is the wait time on you getting that order in to receiving your peptides or products?
Usually therapies is the longest I think right now is what I've heard from pharmacists is 3 to 5 business days. So usually it's pretty quick. Like if you order this week, it'd probably be in your hands by next week, depending where you lived in the United States and stuff like that. Different pharmacies have different waiting times, but majority of the pharmacies are 3 to 5 business days. There are some pharmacies where it's 1 to 2 business days turnaround. So, and I've been adding some other different pharmacies in the mix too as well. They had some different products. So we'll see. They said the exact turnaround's about the same time, 3 to 5 business days.
What kind of questions you got, Mo, that's coming up for you? I'm just reading these questions over there.
The Titan Medical is on it. They're answering to people.
Oh, they're already answering. I
which is
love
great.
that. Is that Art answering everybody? I love that.
Yeah. All right. So I see a question up there. It says by Drew, it says tendons and ligaments aren't the same after 40. So TB500 and BPC 157 are essential. I definitely agree. Not everybody's the same though. So I'm a little bit different than Mike is, and Mike's a little bit different than this person is, and probably in joint wise. Mike, he definitely talks about connective tissue and joints, and he's got pretty healthy joints and connective tissue. Where my joints and my areas and my shoulders are probably a little bit messed up, and a lot of people are out there like that too as well.
Yeah, I'll go back to, I think that's the most important thing. If you gave me a list and say, Mike, what do you want to save? Could be the word. I don't know. Is it your mind? Is it your muscles? I'd say my ligaments and joints.
Yeah.
Give me that, and I can get everything else done in life.
Yep.
But you take that away, and then the muscle's going to atrophy away because you're going to be in too much pain to lift all the time. And so I think those are like that foundation. If people are thinking about doing peptides, that's, for me, in my opinion, again, this is just me. I believe in movement. I believe in trying to live as pain-free as possible. And Drew is right. There's a different world as you age and your body kind of, mostly if you're not setting yourself up to win,
Right.
which again, let's be honest, I don't think that's most people.
No.
So they get to that age at 40 and their lower backs are gone and they got to get new hips and the knees are gone. So it's like, I think this is,
So right now, a lot of people are getting sick. The cold.
why is that? Because of the
it's
cold weather?
Season, the cold weather, especially on the East Coast.
Okay, all right.
Like,
So Mona said
what's the
a lot of
best
people are getting sick right now.
Yep.
What would you recommend
to boost their immune
to
system?
boost their immune system? That's a
Sure.
great one, Mo.
Sure. Great question, Mona. You're always there with the good ones. All right, so obviously the people are getting sick right now. There's 3 big things that are going around right now. COVID's still there, right? I guess in Kansas City it's running rampant. And then we got the flu that's going around, and we have RSV that's going around. And supposedly some thing from China is going around, respiratory virus, and everybody is sick nowadays. Best thing you could do for sickness, either trying to prevent it or trying to get over it as fast as you possibly can. Therapies from us. There'd be like maybe 3 different therapies that I would probably recommend. One would be our Triimmune, glutathione, vitamin C, and zinc. 1 shot, very concentrated. Might not feel the best, but it's going to give you the best bang of the buck for immunity-wise in those 3 properties. You can take glutathione by itself, Or you could take, I would say, our Nectar of the Gods, which has glutamine, arginine, glutathione, NAC, proline, taurine, L-carnitine. So it's got some other things in the mix along with it too as well. After that, I would talk about Thylam, and that one's a good one. It helps stimulate your thymus gland. Is one big part of your immune system too. So, these are three things that I would recommend for somebody that say, hey, listen, I don't want to get sick, or I'm very sick and I'm trying to get over it as fast as possible. Now, obviously, listen, if you get sick, it might turn to a bacterial infection of some sort. So you always want to look at that, and you want to make sure that if you do need antibiotics, you get antibiotics. Some people are very hesitant about antibiotics. They want to stay away from antibiotics. They don't want to do it. There is some need for them, right, with some of these different things. I'm not saying right when you start getting a little sneeze or a cough, you go right to antibiotics. Obviously, you want to give yourself some time, but at 2 weeks, if you're still not getting better and you're progressively getting worse, you want to go see a physician or a med clinic just to make sure that everything's okay. But these things should help, definitely, 100%, as far as getting you over from sickness or preventing you from getting sick. These are some of the different ones that we were giving a lot of the healthcare workers when the 2020 virus started hitting. And then all through that. Because think about it. A lot of people got to stay home, but healthcare workers did not get to stay home. And that was one of our main people that we serviced during those times. So, and I've got people that never got sick. God bless them, and they were around a lot of sick people. But, it was inevitable for a lot of people. And some people, they took them as they got sick, and they got over the sickness a lot quicker, and they were very happy about it because people were freaking out in the beginning. They didn't know. They thought if they caught this virus, they were going to die. Because, TV, you were watching TV, and they had the numbers just like a basketball game, like points just going up like a scoreboard, right? Of the deaths. It was scary as hell. They're trying to scare everybody. And so people were really, really freaked out when that happened, obviously. So those are the best ones out there. There is another one, Thymosin Alpha 1. And I'm looking at one pharmacy right now that does have it. And if they do have it still in stock, that is the number one immune system boosting therapy I would recommend.
Here's a question then, because maybe right now, some of the younger people are watching this, some of the 40 or 50s. Maybe they have somebody in the house that's a senior citizen, my age or something, real old. So my question though is there an age range that somebody could do this? Is there a level that Titan Medical has to cut them off and say, no, this is something for this age?
Usually we do 21
what
to
is
60,
that?
but listen, usually we do 21 to 60, and after 60 there's a case-by-case scenario, and we want to make sure that you're healthy in every aspect. But, as far as those therapies, no, as far as that goes, those are pretty easy therapies, and there's no downfall to those therapies. So, if people were older and they had some other health issues, maybe it's a cardiovascular problem or something like that, these aren't going to affect the cardiovascular issues or problems that they have, and it's not hormones or anything like that.
Right.
So we're a little bit more lenient when it comes to things as far as those therapies, peptides and amino acid therapies or immune system boosting therapies.
Let's keep going there for a second. Not the age range, but let's go just the individuals out there that are concerned. I fully understand that there's two sides of the COVID and everything like that, but there are people that are concerned about it and don't want to get it. Would they need to do blood work to do these immune system products from Titan Medical, or is this something they can just get on the provider and talk to them?
So what would happen for all these, except for hormones, IGF-1 and vitamin D, you don't necessarily need to do blood work. We would have you fill out the new patient paperwork. You would do a medical consultation with the provider. And if you're not here, you would do it video conference, which is recorded. And then they could prescribe you these things without the blood work. So it would be a little bit easier for them to do it and get a hold of it. They could fill out the new patient paperwork today, maybe get on the schedule, let's say Friday, and then have it in their hands by next week.
Okay, that's great. That's really helpful for you guys out there that are doing that. But again, I'm just saying that that's an option to do. My recommendation is always do blood work regardless. Yeah. If you haven't done blood work in 3 months or 6 months, I'm much more, I'm every 6 weeks because I'm doing a book of trying to track my blood work. So I'm an extremist, but 3 months or John says like 6 months is relatively a good amount of time to do that. Also, I think if you guys are doing and changing things, or you want to get motivated, maybe getting your blood work might motivate you when you get this thing and you got a list in the red on all this stuff going, holy sheesh, I thought I was fine. I thought this, I didn't know. And then you see these numbers, that may be the kick in the ass.
That's right.
That you may want. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a negative guy. I love negativity.
Yeah.
I love the talkers. I love seeing something like, oh, that number, I didn't get the lift, or something's. I love that fight. I like that. And so for me, getting my numbers when I first did this, it was like, I'm fixing everything here. I'm going to jump in here and get extremely crazy looking numbers where people are like, how's that possible? That's my goal. And I don't know if you guys work like that or not, but that's also an option too, to, start out the new year going, I got to take care of myself.
Yep.
And that blood work does show you.
Absolutely. It's always good to get a baseline too and see what's going on if you haven't had it done before. You can get the baseline and kind of work it and then change and see what's going on.
We're going to post up, me and Drew, this week. This next week, we're going to post up this video. It's already out, but I want everybody to see it over on my YouTube and Drew's, that we talked about Drew coming to you and the process that he went through and his journey. I think this is a great YouTube video for everybody to watch, to see somebody at his level, at his size, what he was doing and how Titan Medical changed his life for the better.
Absolutely.
And his transition from what he was doing to this. Now, I'm also, if you guys don't know Drew's he's team captain over there, man. He's a great human, but a walking superhero. And I do not want to train with this man. He's going to crush me. So, but the cool thing about Drew was he's that pinnacle of what the body can be by a visual. And it meant more to him to take care of what was going on inside relative to the outside. And I thought that was a great, mature statement from him.
Absolutely.
And I just love also the fact that Titan Medical could help.
Absolutely.
And got him healthy.
Absolutely.
You want to take a minute and just talk about that Drew cat for us?
Sure. So, me and Drew have known each other for a long time, even before Titan Medical Center. And Drew was one of 5% athletes with Rich Piana, right? And that's when Rich was living here in Tampa and the whole nine. So, obviously Rich, and you knew Rich. Rich was a whatever it takes kind of guy. Whatever it takes. I don't care if I have to inject this and inject that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be the biggest, baddest mofo there is out there. And Drew followed along with that. He was in. Once Drew sets his mind and commits, he's going to commit and he's going to go with it. So Drew was whatever it takes type of guy. He's eating McDonald's 3-4 times a day, Big Macs, fries, and that was his diet. And the whole thing was he wanted to show people, like, look, I can eat all this and I'm still going to be jacked. And Drew was big. Drew was really, really big. So, that was great. So when, Rich passed and all that, obviously 5% went a little different. And, Drew was like, listen, he's like, I'm trying to make a change here. And I've always talked to Drew about blood work. Because I'm like, Drew, you need to do blood work no matter what. I was like, I don't care if you do any therapies with us, don't. Do blood work. Let's see what's going on. So Drew came in to see me and he was like, listen, he's like, I really want to, improve my health. I want to make sure I'm good to go. And I want to join Team Titan. So I was like, all right, cool. Let's do this. But I was like, Drew, we got to make some serious changes. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, one, we're going to do blood work. So we're going to see what's going on, because he told me his current regimen of what he was taking. And it was a little extreme. Okay. To the normal person, not maybe to bodybuilders and stuff like that, but a little bit too extreme to regular people. And then he told me his diet. And his diet was, like I said, McDonald's 3-4 times a day.
Yep.
He'd go and he'd get these cakes from Publix and he'd eat these cakes all at one time. And he was just getting the calories in, getting this. So Drew was really big, but Drew wasn't, and he was defined. He was cut and stuff like that. He had abs, and so I'm definitely not taking that away from him. But he was more round, and you can tell he's holding a lot of water, right? Whether it was sodium or whatever was going on. So I told Drew, I said, listen, we're going to change your diet completely. He's like, what do you mean? I go, listen, we're going to start eating clean. Because I said, if you start eating clean and we start getting you around the right regimen, where quality over quantity is going to dominate here, right? Because I told him, I said, 200 milligrams a week is normal. That's going to get you to the level you want to get at, where it's going to be high enough, but not too low or, not too high. And he changed his diet, and we got him on the regiment, and he just changed completely. I mean, more cut, more defined, still had the strength. Just a bigger, better Drew, in my opinion. I think in his too as well. He wasn't weighing 300 pounds. It was 270, 278 pounds, but it still looked like 290 quality, right? And that was the main part of Drew. And like once Drew started eating like this, it changed the way he felt. He wasn't having the acid reflux or heartburn or feeling bloated all the time. Even inflammation factors by eating some of that food, it raises. So he felt better all the way around as far as that goes. Joint areas, knees, he has elbow issues and all that. So if he felt better eating like that, he looked better eating like that. And then we looked at the numbers. When we got back to blood tests, this was the thing. Drew told me he was taking over a gram of tests. So we looked at the total testosterone, and I'll never forget it. It was in the 400s. I think it was like 440 or something like that. And his free test was like maybe a 10. So I'm like, dude, you're taking over a gram? I was like, you better go talk to whoever sold you this and he was lividly upset. I remember him calling that guy on the phone, but hey, you're going to give back my money immediately. And the dude was like, oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. I mean, just backing out on the phone. It was just crazy. And Drew obviously, took care of that. And then we got him on a program. We got him on 200 milligrams. I mean, and then that's it. I mean, now you see Drew right now. And Drew's, I mean, he's premier, man. I mean, he's even training smarter than he was before. It was like when me and Drew first started training, I'll never forget this because we got it on video too. We went into Powerhouse, Eddie and Matt, and we started training. We were training, I think, biceps or something like that. Remember, Art? So we're training biceps. We're on the machine. We're on the preacher machine. We're doing one-arm biceps. I did mine. He gets on there. He's like, I'm going to stack this up. What does Drew do? He puts 5 plates, 545s, right? The caddies on this thing. And he starts doing his first 2, and the third one, snap, pop. Bicep becomes detached. Goes right up. I'm like, oh, Drew. I'm like, dude. He's like, oh, I'm like, man, like, this is not good, dude. I'm like, so the ego lifts, I think, have come down a lot with Drew, which I told him, like, listen, it's great. You can push all the weight and all that and show this, but you got to protect yourself, man. You got to make sure you're not going to get hurt because like that, him getting hurt like that regressed him a little bit. It took him a couple of weeks to get his arm back to where it even felt okay. So, that's a big thing. Don't ego lift either. And that was his big thing. And that was what Drew was known for. That's why he wanted to do it, I guess. I'm big as hell. I push as much weight, than somebody's ever seen. And I'm like, dude, don't be like that. I'm like, it's okay to push heavy weight, right? But just be safe about what you're doing.
Yeah.
And don't try to be egotistical, I guess, because this guy you want to show off to because he's not going to be feeling the pain and regression that you're going to be feeling when you get hurt or go through this. So, that's the story of me and Drew.
You guys are going to see this video. It's great. I'm going to post that up for you guys next week to watch that over on my page. And again, Drew's somebody that you can also reach out to after I post this. You can reach out to him and talk to him about Titan Medical. He knows so much about the ins and outs.
Yep.
And you can talk to him. He's very open about what he was doing and where he is now. And I think the statement John just made is something I saw, not even knowing Drew that long. I could see that he changed physically. He obviously changed inside, but he also changed mentally. And the individual who he is today is stronger, both in the percentage of life than he was when he was that beast.
Absolutely.
And it's cool to see that guy, and it's great to be around him, man. Great energy. But that's everybody over at Titan Medical, man, from Art to Drew to the whole team. I was putting up a video today on my Instagram page, and all the guys are responding. Them Titan Medical girls are hot.
They are.
I'm like, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Only the best. Only the best.
That's how Johnny does this,
But
man.
for everybody, the phone number is right there, 727-389-3220.
Yes.
Johnny
Or
out there.
TitanMedical.com.
That's right.
That's where I went when I needed to find out information about Titan Medical. I went to the website and you get everything that you
somebody
need
asked
to
here
know.
about pricing and stuff.
You go there. And you get
Johnny,
everything.
can you give us an insight real quick on this final note about blood work for men? I think is $150.
Sure, 150 with your discount. So if they say Michael Hearn or John or Drew, whatever, it's 150 for males, 200 for females. There's a couple more tests on there for females. That's why it's a little bit more expensive. If you're asking for any pricing as far as therapy wise or anything like that, best thing to do is call or text 727-389-3220. You know, most of the injectables, whether they're peptides or amino acid blends, usually run from $180 to $275 per month. So it just really depends on which one you're trying to really go after, what you're looking at doing. But that's the best way to do it. I don't have all the prices listed on the website because there's some different things that we do for people.
I do want to make a statement. I've known a lot of these companies that are out there, like Drew, even, like you were talking about Drew. Please don't be one of these people that go online and get your peptides. I get you can get, I don't know, tons of peptides for $50.
Yep.
It's the same thing for this whole. They're selling you a bathwater, is what we used to say back in the day. And like Drew had to go through that experience when he was getting his testosterone. It's fake stuff. So don't waste the money. Get the real stuff. John's Titan Medical it's approved. It's the best place to go get this stuff. And also, they won't try to do like a lot of these companies will try to sell you 30 things. They'll try to start you off smart, affordable, and something that you can start with. You can always add to it.
Yep.
Is my recommendation. But I say do start. That's the key point. Get the blood work done. Again, say Titan for the 150 discount on the show, and then say Mona for the women. You women get in there. I want you women to be like the Titan women out there,
right.
These savage women, no matter how old you are.
Yep. Yeah, it's essential. Males and females have all the exact same hormones. It's funny to this day that I still see comments like I posted one of Sharice's videos because she takes 2 milligram cream that she rubs on daily, and then on that post it was like, women can take testosterone, or why is she taking testosterone? And it's just people need to be educated that we have the exact same hormones, males and females, just at different levels, and these things, males and females are the exact same. As we age, things are going to decline. Things are going to start going down. I was talking to some female, like 47 on the boat, and she was talking about, hey, she's like, I really need to come see you. She's like, I don't know, I'm pretty close to menopause. I started seeing a little bit of changes here in my body. I'm like, absolutely, this is the time to look at these things. As things are changing, or possibly before things are changing, be preventative, and you can jump on that train and make sure, like, you can slow down the aging process and slow down the clock. And that's really what it's about, and feeling your best by doing it all day, every day.
Yeah, I agree with John on this, and I'll leave it there. I do have stories about women who you would think have low testosterone. I was just speaking to a friend of ours who had her testosterone checked, and her testosterone is actually great. Her testosterone is great. Where Mona's is in the tanker. Yeah. And so it's interesting to see somebody that's maybe not in shape. Her testosterone was great, but there was other aspects that were wrong compared to Mona, who's in shape, but her testosterone is not well. So, but it's not a visual thing. You could look great, but maybe the engine's not working well. And Johnny's always talks about that shiny engine and a shiny car, bad engine.
Shiny car, bad engine. We got a Ferrari on the outside, Pinto engine on the inside, putting down the street in some beautiful looking thing.
We don't want that, everybody. Hey, guys, Big Johnny, the team over there, Art, thanks for helping out here today. I appreciate you guys.
For sure. We appreciate you guys and everybody that joined us today. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Johnny. We'll talk soon.
All right, Mike. I'll talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.